Well, no matter where you live in Maine, you've likely seen one of its helicopters flying overhead. LifeFlight is honoring its 20th year transporting patients of all ages. Good evening, I'm Lindsay Mills.
And I'm Keith Carson. Now the pilots, nurses, technicians, and survivors are all sharing their stories that have united them, all while sporting a unified look.
A paramedic who had respiratory failure, a little boy who entered the world blue and not breathing, and a man who was doing what he loves most, skiing. They share one thing in common: they are survivors.
LifeFlight saved my life.
In its 20 years, LifeFlight of Maine has transported tens of thousands of patients.
The worst day of my life.
Patients like Dave Coughlin.
I couldn't remember basic things like where I lived or who my family was.
After a ski trip, he went to the hospital with an earache.
Ended up with a hairline fracture at the base of my skull.
He was then diagnosed with meningitis and slipped into a coma. He doesn't remember being taken by LifeFlight to Central Maine Medical Center or what could have caused that initial fracture.
I really gave up trying to figure it out because I don't think I'll ever figure it out.
He is one of many LifeFlight survivors.
I'm good, how are you?
Who eventually reconnect with the crew.
Our real job is to change time.
And these t-shirts are the reason why they're uniting now. Westbrook-based Catalyst for Change is debuting its LifeFlight Survivor shirts this week with none other than the patients and crew sporting them, accompanied by their stories shared on social media.
It puts into perspective what you may or may not complain about on a day-to-day basis.
They all got together at a LifeFlight hangar last week for the big photo shoot, some seeing the helicopter for the first time since the day their life depended on it.
What keeps us going is the inspirational stories we hear from patients about what it means to them.
And it's one word: survivor. And we are survivors.
And starting Friday, 100% of the proceeds of the Survivor shirts sold will be donated to LifeFlight.
It's a relationship built on reliability and trust. This past winter, we implemented a new customer care system. When you raised issues and concerns, we didn't respond as well as we should have, and we're very sorry about that. You deserve better. Since then, we've expanded our customer service team, made technology upgrades, and we're working hard to address each and every concern that's been raised.
That's Central Maine Power's CEO Doug Hurling addressing customer frustrations with surging electricity costs this past winter in a video released by the company today.
Yeah, last month several law firms filed a class action lawsuit on behalf of CMP and customers who've been overcharged. The Maine Public Utilities Commission also approved a new investigation to look into CMP's return on equity. You know, the bottom line here is this is a public service. It's hard for people to be happy about it in general. When was the last time somebody said, my electricity is working great today? It's like a complaint-based thing, right?
All I know is people who do not have air conditioning were really struggling for quite some time with that humidity.
Last week was
and we
tough.
caught a break today, which was very good.
The weekend wasn't bad. Today's not bad. We're going to creep the humidity back up there, but overall, it's going to look like this. You know, I think anybody who visits Maine, like on a cruise ship, should have to spend at least one day in Maine like this, because this is the real deal. Vapors are thick out there. It's a little bit foggy. Satellite all along the coastline. As you look inland and across northern Maine, it's not so bad up there, but it is much cloudier with the fog along the coastline. And some drizzle too. You know, the radar only can pick up on droplets of a certain size, so the small drizzle sometimes doesn't get bounced back to the radar and it doesn't recognize it as rain. So you see low-level drizzle, not so much on the radar, but just in person. A couple of showers and a better wall of moisture moving now into southern Maine and eventually into parts of central Maine overnight tonight. So current temperatures really depends on where you are. It was a beautiful day over Aroostook County today. Look at that. Caribou's 84. Meanwhile, 68 in Portland and in the Soup, 74 in Wiscasset, and 71 in Sanford. Dew points also creeping back into the upper 60s and low 70s. So overnight tonight, some showers start moving in. They'll probably be heaviest over southwestern Maine. Tomorrow looks like scattered showers definitely a cloudy day statewide as opposed to today, which is really a coastal cloudy day. The showers will continue through the afternoon. Not everybody gets in on them. There'll be quite a few of them though around. And then Wednesday we start with partly cloudy conditions and again fire off a lot of showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon. A lot of showers, but it's not all bad news. We'll talk about the drier end of the week forecast in just a few minutes.
So if you've been keeping up with the headlines these past few months, you know U.S. Customs and Border Protection have been a super hot topic. Earlier this year, we saw strong reaction to a viral video showing a Border Patrol agent at a bus station in Bangor asking a passenger if they were a U.S. citizen. It prompted lawmakers and civil rights groups to question these tactics. So what is Border Patrol's role and what is it really like to live on Maine's border with Canada? Well, Zach Blanchard and I found out. Here's a sneak peek.
As far as the immigration laws are concerned, the laws are the laws.
Yes. People are saying, wait a minute, I can be stopped anywhere in the state of Maine?
They come out here day after day, season after season.
Using that kind of fear as a justification for invading people's rights makes us all less free.
The people that get up in arms about all that, they're just doing their job.
Do they still have a right to be fearful of law enforcement like themselves?
It's the world we're in.
So Zach and I are going to have 3 parts for you guys. We touch on everything from the history of Border Patrol to literally what it's like to live on the border, and then also why this has become such a big conversation. So I'm really excited to share with you guys what we've been working on these last few weeks.
Yeah, it's been quite some time. And you spent a good chunk of time up there. You guys were up there for about a week, right?
Yeah, we're up there for a few days. We met a lot of fantastic people. And on the way back, actually, we popped our tire. So that was a great time. But luckily, Blaine Lincoln, he's one of the people that we talked to who lives on the border. He helped us out. But what he had to say about technology up there is pretty interesting. So
looking forward to it. Oh, and then I'm also glad that you got back safely.
Yes.
The pop tire, was it Dustin were you with?
No!
Oh, just one.
No, and I was driving, so sorry.
Stormy's tire, we had that one time, so I was just thinking about that.
You love Stormy, very protective of Stormy. A lot more local news when we come back.
The tire, we cut him. It's no big deal. Totally
Wait, what were you saying about CMP?
Is it like utility companies
Yeah.
or anything like that, Nat Gas, nobody writes positive reviews about it, right? Like nobody's like, oh, I'm so happy my electricity works.
Right.
They're only going to get negative feedback. You didn't restore my power in time. You're too expensive. Like there are just certain companies that are never going to have like 4 stars on Yelp. You know what I mean? Like just because they're providing this service that only is a problem when it's not there.
Right.
You know.
That's a fair point.
I mean, they may have. It looks like they made a mistake in this case.
I think they should have done some damage control with a video like this a long time ago, though.
Like a year ago.
Right.
Was it almost a year ago? Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost a little too late. It's interesting timing, too, because the Facebook group for all the CMP Ratepayers Unite went private this weekend. So if you're not in the group now, you can no longer get in, unless like they approve you or whatever.
Interesting.
But it's kind of like a little feeding pool. Like when we need like a soundbite for one of those stories, we go. That's like the first place we start. And I'm in it, thank God, but now it's private, and I wonder why that timing. Do you think that's because
of the lawsuit, maybe, or?
I wonder if they were advised, like.
Yeah, just keep your comments.
Yeah, because anything in that writing now might be used for or against them. I don't know. It's really fascinating.
Yep.
There's a utilities. Is it National Grid? Yeah, National Grid's been striking en masse for like the last 3 months. I don't understand why.
Question about your
what's up?
The line in your vote says as of August 25th.
Yeah. Oh, as of August 5th. Thank you. Good catch, Ron. You could say as of this month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we logged in anyway?
Yes, but I have to refresh. Hey, Facebook! I'm so sorry.
We're just. Good thing we don't say anything bad.
I know, you just saw like a genuine conversation that we were actually having.
Which can be very scary with me, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Especially when it's just me and Keith.
Yeah. Happy Monday!
We're just not set out.
No, we're still waiting for Liam's mic. We'll make that happen.
God bless Ron for not teleporting us all to the future with my script.
Yeah, August 25th.
Yeah, I meant to write August 5th.
Trying to get rid of summer already.
Yeah,
right.
right.
For the pumpkin spice.
Right? That was a big conversation on Friday. Big conversation.
Isn't it real?
Do you think it's too early for that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Left-handed swice. Okay. All right. Got it.
All right, let's hear it for all the left-handers out there. It's International Left-Handers Day, and from smudged ink and using scissors made for right-handed folks, the left-handed life struggle is real.
Yeah, another name for those left-handed southpaws, in case you didn't know that. It's also a boxing thing. Scientists don't know exactly why people are left-handed versus right-handed. I looked that up and made sure that's true. It's true, they don't know yet, but they do think that children are more likely to be left-handed if one of their parents is. Still, the number of southpaws hasn't increased. It's about 10%. It's been that way for a while.
You statistics, I'm so surprised. And left-handed people out there, you're in good company. George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama are all lefties.
Also, Paul McCartney, Mark Wahlberg. We put Marky Mark on the same list as presidents, huh? I like it. Also, Oprah Winfrey. They're all southpaws.
I love it.
All right. Have you ever wondered why your phone seems to know where you are and where you're heading, even when you have location services turned off?
It also knows what I shop for, apparently. Well, according to a new report from the Associated Press, Google is tracking the location data of users even when location history is turned off. Storing location data of users without permission could be a privacy risk and has been used by police to determine the location of suspects. Here's Liz McLaughlin with more.
As usual, Google's apps can help you find a destination, personalize a search, even help you remember where you parked your car. That convenience is thanks to a slew of personal data, including your location.
If they know you go to McDonald's a lot, you're going to start to see McDonald's ads, and those ads are very valuable to Google.
There's even a Google Maps feature that tracks a minute-by-minute account of your whereabouts. Convenient to some, creepy to others. According to a Google support page, there's something called location history that users can pause, but that may not stop Google from gathering your information. According to an investigation by the Associated Press, Google apps automatically store timestamped location data of users without their permission. This data has been used by law enforcement to determine the location of suspects, such as this warrant served by police in Raleigh, North Carolina last year to find devices near a murder scene.
This debate over privacy versus the kind of benefits you get from these different apps and services, that's going to continue to rage on.
Turning your phone off may be the only way to stay off the grid. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News.
So, of course, we want to hear from you right now. Go to pulse.newscentermaine.com. How do you feel about Google tracking your location at all times? Just log on to our website or mobile app to cast your vote.
You can also comment on Facebook and YouTube live streams. Let us know what you think. Here's the thing about that. I think that's where we're at in life. The only thing I'm real old man about is the cloud and photos, like auto-syncing photos to the cloud. Right. I don't know why that weirds me out so much, but I'm just not about that
right,
particular
just to know that it exists somewhere and it could be forever, even if you've deleted it from your device.
Right. The way I look at it is like, you remember when they try to get into iPhones from suspects and they have to ask Apple because the FBI can't get in?
Yes.
So you're good there. When you send it up to the cloud, whatever it may be, I feel like it's a little bit sketchier. But of course Google knows where you are.
Right.
Is that surprising to you?
Google knows everything.
What are you doing exactly that it's a problem?
Google knows
That's
questions
what
my
I wanna
mom
know.
knows the answers to. Okay. When we come back, some fallish weather is starting to rain. Keith, you going to do your day job after this?
My actual job.
On Friday, I got an airdrop from somebody who definitely was not intending to send me an airdrop. So, like, similar to the cloud, just weird things can happen. We'll leave it at that. Weird things can happen. But yeah, what do you guys think? Even if you turn off the settings for Google to track you and it's still tracking you, what do you think? I mean, pretty fascinating concept. I wonder if they know, like, too, if you've been if you're going to be diagnosed with something, if you're like searching certain symptoms, or if you're searching like.
Never search symptoms online.
No.
Ever.
What are you supposed to do?
Go to a doctor.
Besides that.
Spoiler alert: it's always cancer. But it's not cancer.
But you know, like, I feel like Google knows too much about us because we ask it too many things. Like, Google probably knows what I'm making for dinner tonight because I had to Google the recipe.
That is true. But you know, without it, how useless we are. Like up at camp, we don't have any cell phone service. And when I'm doing home improvement, I get myself into a jam, and I'm like, now what do I do?
Right.
Like I can't ask the internet what to do.
Right.
And that really set me back. Sometimes I have to table the project until I get into cell phone service to figure out what to do and then come back. So yeah, it has negatives, but like also.
Fair point. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. Oh, Rachel's wondering what Airdrop is. Airdrop is like a function on your phone where you can share pictures or whatever. Basically, when you go to send a photo, an option should come up like Keith's phone, like whoever's Airdrop is turned on around you, and you can accidentally hit that button and send it to somebody. It'll pop up on your screen and it'll say like, do you accept? So you can decline it. You don't have to accept it.
I got lots of baby nudes on my phone, so that's something to think about. You don't want to just be sending those all
True,
over the place.
good point. Or like pictures of where you live, that sort of thing. A lot of you guys are agreeing with one another.
Yeah, nobody likes it.
Dave says he doesn't care. He's got nothing to hide.
Dave, that's suspicious.
Rachel says the same thing. Carolyn says, big deal. Never go anywhere except to the grocery store and church, so big deal. Fair point, fair point.
I don't think where you go should be a big concern. I mean.
Comrade says, go Pats.
It's related.
What's up, Joe? All right.
Well, many hikers have their eyes set on the end of the trail, but for geocachers, the real prize may be found along the way, concealed under a rock or tucked away in a bush.
Geocaching is a hobby among outdoor enthusiasts in which a GPS-enabled device and coordinates are used to locate containers hidden away by other players.
Yeah, most of the time the payoff is in the hunt, but for geocacher Jason Winder, the hobby is leading him to life-changing destinations.
It's nice out.
At less than a mile long.
The shade feels nice.
It's just a hop to the top of Castle Rock Trail. But for Jason Winder,
Scrub Oak's getting taller.
Summiting is just half the fun.
So yeah, it was hidden in 2006. And it's a 3.5 out of 5 difficulty.
Winder is looking for hidden treasure.
It'll tell you where it is, it gives you the coordinates, how hard it's gonna be.
He's geocaching, using a GPS on his phone and an app. It's a complex game of hide and seek, where a player's sense of direction is put to the test to find small containers of goodies hidden away by other hikers.
And this spot's actually pretty special to me because this is where I found my first geocache and what started that whole addiction/hobby.
Addiction is accurate. Winder is already approaching a big milestone, 8 years in.
So 60 more and I'll have 10,000.
He approaches the game like he approaches life, one step at a time.
Poke, 1, 2, 3.
Since I was born with Hirschsprung's disease, it's similar to Crohn's and ulcerative colitis, kind of in that family. The microvilli in my large intestine never developed, so I was pretty much born with dead intestines.
Potassium, magnesium, and other nutrients are injected through a main line into Winder's heart to keep him alive.
Yeah, it's about 3 or 4 hours every time I come in, and a minimum of 3 days, but sometimes 4.
Sometimes he's in the hospital for months.
And then it just got worse where I was having to be here all the time. I couldn't work. I couldn't keep up with my friends, things like that, and that just gets really depressing.
His disease zapped his energy and left him feeling isolated. But Winder decided he wasn't going to let his condition control his life.
Oh yeah.
His answer to finding personal happiness,
it's green everywhere, it's nice,
came to him in coordinates.
Tiny bit more.
Starting in 2010, Winder began spending all his spare time planning geocaching excursions.
And that gave me that extra push to always get outside, to put my troubles aside and start having fun. Let's see.
The hobby has led him down countless trails he's never heard of before. Eventually finding a treasure that wasn't on the map.
We found the first couple, then we found more. I haven't found any without you.
While geocaching together, somewhere along the path, Sarah and Jason fell in love.
I knew I wanted to geocache more and just spend as much time as possible with him because it was an adventure.
Doing good?
They're now married and scrambling up rocks together.
She'll be at 2,000 pretty soon.
It says official geocache, do not remove.
After it's found, the cache is put back in its hiding place and left for the next hunter to discover.
Obviously you're not finding pirate treasure, but you still got that instinct of, oh, somebody hit something and we can go find it.
Winter's souvenir isn't physical. It's the thrill of getting out of the hospital bed and never coming back empty-handed.
It may be difficult, it may be tiring, it may wipe you out, but in the end it's going to be worth it.
And that is from our sister station, KUSA. If you are interested in geocaching, you are in luck. The Geocache app, you can find lots of events and locations to hunt for your own adventure whenever you feel like it. And we're also curious, what sort of things do you find when you go? So let us know on Facebook and YouTube.
It looked like a really small container, so I don't know if it's just like the thrill of, but you know, like if it's going to get you outside, that's pretty cool.
Exactly.
I hide fries for Ortiz all the time, and she just goes around the newsroom.
I get the benefit when she doesn't find them.
Yeah,
just 5-second rule on the floor.
Where are those fries? Are they bacon dusted? Let's climb up a mountain and find them.
You know, if you're going to grill tonight for dinner, maybe change your plans because it's a little dreary out there.
It is, although, you know, the hardcore grillers, one of my great life regrets is we bought a condo that you can't have a grill on the deck. Like, you could, but the place probably burned down.
Yeah.
And I miss that because during the winter, sometimes it makes you feel like summer.
It does.
You know, you just go out there. You don't need to be out there too long. But no, I mean, it's not a good-looking day, especially along the coastline. But further inland and into northern Maine, totally different day. Much sunnier, much warmer over Aroostook County, but a big slug of moisture moving now through southern New England on its way to Maine. You can see just the orientation of this, that a lot of it will be over New Hampshire and Vermont, but we will catch some of this over southwestern Maine later this evening and into tomorrow, so the showers will be rolling through them. Here's what I was talking about. It really depends where you are today in the state. Look at Caribou at 84, Holton at 80, so all the sun, all the warmth there. Meanwhile, still in the 60s in Portland at 68, and the coastline is a lot cooler with that marine air, that fog, and the low-level cloudiness. In fact, this is something only probably nerds would notice, but there's not much of what we call a diurnal temperature change in this pattern, which is from your overnight low to your daytime high. Sometimes that can be 40 degrees, right? But in this pattern, our overnight low in Portland was 66, and our high today was 70. So we only gained 4 degrees from the daytime. Meanwhile, where there's more sun, in Bangor is a little bit more typical, gaining 17 degrees. So you'll see that over the next few days where your highs aren't that high, but your lows aren't that low either. Hour by hour forecast showing you a couple of the showers. Again, best chance southwestern Maine into the mid-coast by early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is a cloudier day than today, spatially speaking. More in the way of showers, but definitely not a washout. The showers will still be just scattered here through the afternoon into the early evening. We clear out a bit on Wednesday morning. That drives more instability, which pops up some thunderstorms on Wednesday afternoon. Then that changes our air mass Wednesday night. Thursday and Friday at this point look pretty nice, dry and pleasant. So chances of precipitation here, 40% on Tuesday, 50% on Wednesday with a chance of a thunderstorm. Looks dry though Thursday and Friday, and then a 50% chance of a shower again on Saturday. We should be able to clear out at least Sunday for the weekend. All those chances of rain, but not that much rain total. So this is your Euro model all the way through next Tuesday, and it only gives us a half an inch, if that, of rain. So a lot of chances for scattered showers. None of this looks overly heavy though. So here's how the week looks. Again, Thursday looks great. Friday looks pretty good as well. Maybe a shower on Friday night. Temperatures in the 80s inland, but it will be cooler along the coastline where it's probably only upper 70s to maybe low 80s. And at this point, the weekend is still a little unclear. Probably some showers on Saturday. It's not a lock though. Sunday looks like the better of the 2 weekend days. And then Monday looks mostly sunny. Temperatures at that point in the 70s. By the way, Lindsay, the weekend's still up for grabs. I got a couple of brides on the line, so I have to nail that down soon. Saturday afternoon.
The pressure is on. That's a lot of pressure, Keith, for that forecast. Okay, let's take a quick look at our pulse results. If we have them. Hey, Cindy, thanks for joining us. We're going to take a quick look at our pulse results for tonight. Our question. I think we have them. Okay, how do you feel about Google tracking your location? Pretty interesting stuff here. 35% say go for it. I have nothing to hide. That's what a lot of you are saying right now on our Facebook live stream. But 67% of you here are saying that's creepy. Leave me alone. So we got one conversation going on Facebook, another situation happening with our pulse poll. What are you gonna do? All right, what's coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30?
We got a lot coming up. We've been looking into that bus crash from last Friday that left a couple of camp counselors and campers in the hospital. Police are saying the 18-year-old driver had a medical event, but new info about his past is making his employer question whether he should have been behind the wheel at all. And August in Maine means boating days. Boats mean business to Maine, and according to many companies, business is booming. We're going to take a look at the few of the companies who say things are just going great
I
this
love
summer.
all the alliteration. Boating business is booming.
Business booming.
And you know what
Say
else
that
rhymes
5
with?
times fast.
You know what else starts with a B? Raindrops, and that's next. Rhymes with B?
I wasn't sure that we were supposed to do the pulse, so forgive me. I was
No, you're totally fine. She was
I didn't
like,
expect to be on camera.
me neither, and I wasn't sure because usually that tally light comes on too, but neither tally light came on, so I was like, I was lost too. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries at all.
Alrighty. Sweep. All right, everybody, it's brain drops time. Let's go for a walk.
Guys, you're gonna have to bring the full screen up full because I'm honestly.
All right.
Here we go. It's a viewer question today.
Okay, what's the viewer question?
It's, is there such thing as a wind chill during the summer?
Oh.
And then here's the question back here. Ultimately, does the humidity in the winter help us to feel warmer? It seems to indoors, but the outside winter humid days we feel cold and clammy.
Huh.
I was saying, yeah, but why don't you bring it full screen?
Interesting.
No, I know, but bring it full screen over the monitor. Like, yeah, because rolling it in is just kind of messy.
Mm-hmm. I'm loving all the colors here.
I'm trying to
It's
use all
looking
my
like
markers. Okay? We paid for those markers. We're gonna
rolling out all the stops.
all the colors.
It's as colorful as like one of your weather maps.
It's like when I got a new set of crayons as a kid. Like,
Yeah. It looks like the first day of school right here.
Yeah, I'm really
That's
excited.
what this looks like.
Before I break all the other pencils. Not today, I don't think. We got several minutes left. I saw a new social media policy just went out, so as long as we can stay in the bounds there.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how it's going to work? That's good.
Because that makes the most sense.
All right, Braindrops, we got a viewer question. Let's bring it up full so people can read it here. Hey, Keith. I don't have to read that part, but whatever. I've often wondered if it's true if summer breeze counteracts the heat index the same way it figures into wind chill in the winter. Also, does humidity in the winter help us feel warmer? All right, let's do it.
Okay.
So, 2 questions, and you're going to get both of them.
And you're going to get lots of
2 for the
markers.
price of 1. Okay, so let's start with the idea of the wind chill during the summer.
Okay.
Simple answer is yes, and it's how a fan works, right? Like a fan doesn't cool a room unless it's pulling exterior air in, but you put a fan in a room, not going to change the temperature. What it does is cool your skin. The way it does that is you got little sweat droplets, even when you're not really sweating heavily, you got little spritz going on there. The moving air allows you to not saturate the air as much, so it gives you more evaporative cooling, and that makes you feel cooler. Meanwhile, if you had stagnant air, it saturates that air, your sweat does, and it can't evaporate into it.
This might be a silly question, but sweat wicking, like t-shirts, like material, is that the same thing?
It helps. It's not the same, but it's the same idea. Get the moisture off your body, and that's how it cools you. The other thing that happens is if, say, you're not sweating at all, which doesn't happen often, but you get a little insulating warm layer that you can't see above your skin, well, the fan just moves it away and replaces it with room temperature air. So that's going to be cooler than the 96, 97 that it is right above your skin. So in short, yes, there is a wind chill during the summer. As far as the humidity during the winter, it's never going to feel sticky and uncomfortable during the winter because the dew point can never be higher than the temperature. And the dew point of 65 plus is sticky. So during the winter, you'd have to be 65 degrees or warmer to feel sticky. However, if it is relatively high on the dew point scale, you will get a little bit of sweat, and that's what makes you feel colder. They always say sweat is the enemy when you're talking about winter sports.
Also, someone on Facebook wanted to know if your tie had snowmen on it. We can tell you they are flowers.
Flowers.
Because
Floral.
it is summer.
Yes.
New Sentiment at 5:30 starts right now. All right, everybody.
Yeah, Santa.
Thank you for sending raindrops questions, and remember to send us questions too.
Yeah.
Use the hashtag AskNow. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.